Yo, what's going on, everybody? Just straight out of Boston here, aka the King of Boston. Today we're back for episode 13 of my NBA 2K15 Pacers MyLeague. And today, you can take a look at our team record right there. We are 27-20. We were 27-18 actually. So if you think we were at one point 14-17, then we ended up 27-18. That was winning 13 of 14 games. That is incredibly hot. We were scorching hot there for a little while. And we've dropped two in a row, though, down to 27-20, and we are approaching the trade deadline. It's about a month away or so. I think I might have one episode between now and the deadline. I'm not too sure, but really, I've talked about it before the season. Our two biggest chips are Reggie Bullock and that Atlanta Hawks first-round pick that we own. And if you remember the last episode when we faced the Atlanta Hawks, they were 8-27 entering that game, so they are pretty much at the bottom of the Eastern Conference and really at the bottom of the whole league. So that pick's likely going to be, you know, at least a top 8 pick or something, you know, of the like. So it's a really big chip, and there are obviously pros to holding on to that pick, because we could use it to get a very good bench scorer, bench player, someone who, you know, makes the rotation next year at the least. I don't think we're going to get a year 1 starter out of that 8th or 9th pick if it turns out to be that, but I think we could get a rotation guy at the very least, and that's pretty valuable in year 3, which is the year that I expect to really be competing for a title. But it also could be very, you know, or it could be a good idea to try and trade that pick along with a guy like Reggie Bullock. And then, you know, we have a bunch of expiring contracts. Donald Sloan's $2.5 million expiring. Francisco Garcia and Jason Terry add up to another 2.7 or 8 in expiring. So we can build like $4 or $5 million of expiring contracts, which could be good to bring somebody back who maybe signed for the mid-level exception or something. And I was looking at the trade finder, I saw a couple ideas, one for Justice Winslow from the Nuggets, one for Stanley Johnson from the Bulls, who, if you remember a couple episodes ago, killed us off the bench. We could get Amari Stoudemire back because, I don't know, it seems like Anthony Tolliver's doing pretty well in the simulation, but whenever I use him, I personally usually struggle. But anyway, this is a cool play here. No one scores in this clip, but that was a sick chase down block from Paul George, and you can see we break out and actually attempt this Jimmy Butler 3, but it is off. But take a look at this block. That was a sick block from Paul George. I had to show that. Anyway, so yeah, let me know. I mean, I think what we really need on this team is another bench scorer or just an improvement to our second unit. I think our starting 5 is definitely I mean, there's room for upgrades in our front court, but I think that's more something for the off-season. I think right now the best we could do is to upgrade our bench, and I think our bench could use either a wing scorer, specifically like a small forward who can shoot, because right now, like, I would love to give Jason Terry's minutes to like Justice Winslow or Stanley Johnson, or, you know, someone maybe a better shooter of those type of players. I know like Justice Winslow is supremely athletic. I'm not sure if he can shoot the ball very well, but like maybe having him and KJ McDaniels in the same unit's a little redundant because both those guys are like super athletic freaks, but neither are great outside shooters. We do have one good outside shooter on our bench. That is Reggie Bullock, though. I think we can certainly get an upgrade over him, and I think I would certainly be willing to sacrifice that Hawks pick for an upgrade. We don't have our own first-round pick this year. We also don't have our own first-round pick next year. The only first-round pick we own other than the Hawks one is our 2019 first-round pick, and then we can't even trade our 2021 yet, though. We cannot move until next year, but it doesn't hold a lot of value anyway, so anyway, there's a Rudy Gay 3. We'll get into the gameplay here. It's 35-30. Sacramento Kings on top. We are in Sacramento, a team that's been pretty solid this year. I think surprising a few people. They're 11-11 or like 12-11 or something along those lines. They have missed Boogie Cousins lately. He's been sick. He has like viral meningitis or something. But he has been playing like a top 10 NBA player in the time that he has played. And in this MyLeague, they've added Marco Belinelli off the bench. And Marco Belinelli, I like him a little bit in real life. In a game like 2K, he's lights out from deep, so you always have to be aware when he's on the court. Here's Ben McLemore, who's he had a pretty impressive day tonight. He's actually played alright this season from what I've seen, but Ryan Holland's down low with the one-handed slam, and the Kings have actually opened up a 15-point lead here in the second quarter. They've gone on a run. It was a 5-point game just a couple minutes ago, but now Emmanuel Mudiay rejects the screen right there and ends up getting an easy flush one-handed in the lane. And then here a nice little transition 3 from Paul Millsap. He trails and ends up knocking down the open 3. So a good shot there from our starting power forward. 52-42 now. McLemore with the ball. He actually loses it. Jason Terry comes up with it, and Terry's going to find Jimmy Butler ahead of the break right there, and he's going to go all the way down by himself for a two-handed flush. 52-44. Rudy Gay, though, he had his way tonight. He was having a fantastic game, and you can see just bad defense from Paul George there. That was not what you expect out of one of the best perimeter defenders in basketball, like Paul George. And then Ben McLemore drives and kicks to Rudy Gay, who was knocking down his outside shots tonight. It's not something he's always on, but Gay was hitting his shots tonight. or his J's, and that really opened up his offensive game, and he ended up with a pretty productive evening. But we're at the half. 56-44 is the score. Take a look at the halftime report, and you can see their offense is working a lot more efficient than ours is. They are shooting over 50%, 55%, both from 3 and inside the arc, to be exact. And Rudy Gay's got 17 points already, but DeAndre Jordan does have 7 rebounds. He was having a good game on the boards again. I mean, DeAndre Jordan does a lot of things that don't look great in the videos, I think. Because, you know, he isn't really ever involved on offense, and I mean, he usually gets a couple blocks a game, but none of them are, you know, like the Paul George chase down block, highlight reel-esque type of thing. But he does oftentimes end up with like 12, 13, 14 rebounds. So I mean, he's doing things, but I would definitely say that's someplace that, you know, if Jordan doesn't, you know, start getting more involved in offense and sort of doing more things to kickstart this team's offense, then I think we might have to reevaluate that spot in the offseason. But like I said, I think that's something really more for the offseason. Anyway, nice little dunk right there, and then Emmanuel Mudiay driving, and actually it's a pick and pop with Anthony Tolliver, and there's Anthony Tolliver getting going from outside. And the reason I said earlier I think he's doing well in the simulation is because I saw some screen grab in the middle of this game that said he was like 3rd or 4th in field goal percentage from behind the 3-point line so far this season. He was like 3rd, or I think it was 3rd. And that's pretty impressive. Anthony Tolliver was, you know, he's a good 3-point shooter, but he's not Kyle Korver, he's not Steph Curry or anything. So anyway, 73-61. We've closed it back down to 12, but Nick Stauskas with the ball pulls up and actually gets that shot to go over Jimmy Butler. You'd think Jimmy Butler would be able to hold down Nick Stauskas, but not there. 75-61. Tyler Ennis coming around the screen, and that is what Tyler Ennis does so well: run the pick and roll and get to the hoop, explode to the hoop. It's really what Ennis does on the second unit. But Stauskas, check this out. It's like Stauskas and Belinelli trying to decide who's going to take the shot. Eventually, Stauskas settles for it. He knocks down the 3. Cauley Stein finds KJ McDaniels there, who pulls up, no good. But there's DeAndre Jordan with the tip in, and that's what I want to see more out of DeAndre. He gets a lot of offensive rebounds, but he is so bad around the rim that he struggles to sort of finish the putbacks sometimes. But there we got to go. Mudiay misses this layup, gets his own rebound, and eventually puts it back up and in. Emmanuel Mudiay did not have a great game tonight. He had a pretty quiet evening overall. Darren Collison played some phenomenal perimeter defense. Mudiay's better offensive outputs and better offensive efforts have been against worse perimeter defenders, and Darren Collison really played a great game on both ends of the floor tonight. But 86-78, trying to make a run here. Paul George lobs it up to Jimmy Butler. When we get the lead down to 6, it's 86-80, but Ben McLemore with the ball covered by Jimmy Butler on the perimeter, drives around to the screen and roll, and then Cousins pops out there for the little 15-foot jumper. He gets it to go. And then here's a rebound by DeMarcus Cousins. Darren Collison now is going to start the break up the court to Rudy Gay, and Rudy Gay took over in this 4th quarter. He's going to finish with 36 points, I believe, and he was phenomenal in the 4th quarter, trying to close this game out. 92-84. Emmanuel Mudiay lobs it up again to Jimmy Butler, and that is pretty much our fast break play always. If we have Butler or George running, or sometimes even Mudiay, although Mudiay is usually doing the ball handling, it's going to be an alley-oop. But Ben McLemore into the lane, and the lead is back up to 10. Sleep Train Arena is rocking here in Sacramento, California. Now Paul Millsap here, down to Emmanuel Mudiay. I honestly didn't see that guy who came from the out of bounds. He must have fallen on the previous defensive possession for the Kings, but anyway, he pops up there, but we get the little floater with Mudiay anyway, and then a little pick and roll or whatever this is, and Rudy Gay, and one. Just phenomenal game from Rudy Gay. Jimmy Butler, though, back to Paul George. George trying to take advantage on the other end. He's going to fade, and he actually gets that to go off the glass. 103-96 now, rebounded by Paul Millsap, coming down with the big board, gets it to Jimmy Butler. Butler up the court, he's going to take it himself and get the layup to go. It's a 5-point game with under a minute to play now after a pair of free throws. 7-point game, 20 seconds left. Mudiay looking for George here. George immediately catches and shoots, and he knocks down the 3, and it's a 4-point game. Now after a free throw from Rudy Gay, he would make one of 2, so it's a 5-point game. Mudiay, though, again to George, and George just puts it up and throws up a prayer, and he gets it to go. So another set of free throws. This time Rudy Gay misses both. It's a 2-point game with 5 seconds to play. Butler driving down the court. He sees Mudiay. No timeout for the Pacers, and Mudiay misses the game-tying mid-range jumper. And that is going to end off this game. The Kings hold on with a 106-104 victory. Rudy Gay misses 3 late free throws that opened the door there for the Pacers to try and swoop in and put that game into overtime. But Mudiay missed the 10-foot jump shot from the baseline, and that is the ball game. What a finish. I cannot believe he almost completed that comeback, and I can't believe he got such a good look from Mudiay and he missed it. I really thought that was going in when he shot it, but anyway, take a look at the box score. 4 guys in double figures. And DeAndre Jordan had 14 rebounds as well. Rudy Gay, though, 36 points on 20 some odd shots. Just a phenomenal game out of him. And that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy. Just out. Peace.